To be completely honest with you, when everything shut down last May due to COVID, like many, I felt a little lost. With performances completely taken away and not knowing a lot about the technological side of virtual performances, I devoted all of my time to teaching. As a performer, I missed being on stage and started to explore possible avenues of performance creativity, which meant rolling up my sleeves, learning how to produce my own performances, and getting involved with some outside-the-box experiences. The first virtual performance I was asked to be involved with was through the Lyric Opera of the North, who is one of 9 opera companies from around the country to join forces to create the Decameron Opera Coalition. Together, the 9 companies created the 4-part episodic opera Tales from a Safe Distance. Everything from the score, libretto, orchestra, to sets and singing was done virtually. The accompaniment for the Loon segment was written for violin and piano. This required me getting the piano files, practicing with them, putting on headphones, and recording into my computer microphone at home. Once the violin and piano part was complete, the singers then individually recorded their performances. This production has been added to a new collection curated by the Library of Congress featuring creative works of national and international acclaim inspired by the pandemic. I was able to be involved with several live stream concerts, including performing Astor Piazzolla's 4 Seasons of Buenos Aires with the Duluth Superior Symphony Orchestra, and performing a concert with UWS alumnus and faculty member Alexander Sander at Sacred Heart Music Center. I was also a featured guest on violinist Galen Lee's podcast, watched throughout the U.S. and internationally, and I was also a guest and performer on Wisconsin Public Radio's The Morning Show, where I talked about being a musician and teacher during the pandemic. For my University Recital Series concert at UWS, I decided to put my technology skills to the test and present something that I could not do in person, perform duos and trios with me playing all of the parts. With the help of a great Blue Yeti microphone and the ability to edit in Adobe Premiere Pro, I created some of my favorite duos in my home office. Here is a quick example featuring Handel Halvorson's Passacaglia for violin and viola.
This piece was inspired by the 1921 German expressionist film of the same name. The piece is written for piano and electronics, and it is divided into 2 sections. In the first section, while the pianist plays, there's a recording device active. The first section ends and the recording device reverses the recording just made. During the second half of the piece, that recording is played and the pianist accompanies that reverse recording live. So it's a piano duo with the reverse recording of the first half. It's a really, really cool piece, and that uses the effects of attacks and decay of notes on the piano.
Hello, my name is Brett Jones and I'm the percussion professor here at UW Superior. I wanted to share with you a little bit about what I've been up to this year. Now this year, as you might imagine, has been a crazy one for performing musicians because there haven't been a whole lot of performance opportunities. So to fill that void, at the beginning of the year I decided to do some virtual performances similar to what we've been doing with our student ensembles. This example is from a recent University Recital Series performance and features Dr. Hector Landa on piano and me playing marimba, a piece by the composer Robert E. Kreutz, Pranksters at Large. Another thing I decided to do at the onset of this year was to focus on audio recording projects. Now, I've done a CD project before, and I know how much time and energy and work goes into it, which is why I haven't done one recently. Here's a short example of one of these audio recordings that's going to find its way onto this album that I hopefully will be finished with by the end of the summer. At the beginning of this school year, I sat down with my colleague Melanie Siever, who teaches flute at UW-Superior, and we had discussions early on about how we could really help during this time when a lot of students are at home and a lot of music directors are having to be very creative with technology. And we came up with this idea of offering video tutorials for students. In the end, I put together about 25 videos on how to play small percussion instruments, which I hope will be helpful for not only high school percussionists, but band directors as well. So here's a few short excerpts from those teaching tutorials. Thank you. Is it time to think about where we set our percussion instruments? Let's take a minute to talk about that. Having some sort of place to put our instruments and mallets that's not going to make a bunch of noise or allow them to roll off is vital to us being really good and professional as percussionists. So the percussion topic for today, the vibroslap and the ratchet. Let's start with the vibroslap. Vibroslap is a manufactured instrument that's supposed to resemble the sound of an old donkey jaw with loose teeth. That's the traditional instrument. This is a little more humane, perhaps. If you keep the momentum of the vibroslap moving up, the sustain will last a little bit longer. This is an example from West Africa of an athatse rattle from Ghana. Though you can play instruments like this in a traditional fashion against the knee and the hand, you can also shake them.
Using text by Ginny Savage, the American composer Jake Heggie wrote Joy Alone, Connection in 1997. I doubt either of them knew then what a poignant piece this might become in the past year. Joy Alone, Connection by Jake Heggie.